Hello, I'm your moderator, Natalie Foy, and this is Leonard Foy. So today's just going to be a 5-minute video. So, Leonard, before you start, would you like to say anything?
I would just like to say that my name is Leonard Foy, and I am a real estate attorney practicing law in Nashua, New Hampshire. The name of my office is Foy Law Office, PLLC. My lovely daughter, Natalie Ann Foy, and myself.
That's me.
Yes, it is. We have broadcast a number of video presentations offering tips and information about the legal services that we offer, and the subject of tonight's video will be, Natalie?
Tips for sellers of real estate, of course.
Yes, tips for sellers of real estate, of course, and this will be a brief 5-minute presentation. So, Natalie, would you please keep an eye on the stopwatch and let me know when we get close to 5 minutes?
Yes. So, the tips for sellers of real estate, of course.
Let me see if I can offer something here. So again, my name is Len Foy, and I'm a real estate attorney in Nashua, New Hampshire. I represent people who are buying, I say people representing people and organizations who are buying, selling, and refinancing real estate. If you are doing any one of those things, or if you need a deed prepared or any other real estate documents prepared, please contact my office. I'll provide you with some contact information at the conclusion of this video. But tonight's subject is tips for sellers. So I want to turn my attention and focus to people and organizations who are in the process of selling real estate. If you are selling real estate in either New Hampshire, Massachusetts, or Maine, please contact my office. I would love to assist you. I'm going to offer just a couple of quick tips, or pointers if you will, for people who may be in the process of selling real estate and who may be wondering, should I hire a real estate attorney? Tip number 1, if you are selling real estate, in my view, you should always retain the services of a qualified real estate attorney. So, legal services can be very expensive, and I'm very sensitive to the costliness of legal services. But what I can tell you is that the cost of hiring an attorney to represent you in the sale of real estate is not nearly as expensive as you might imagine. Please call my office. We'll be happy to provide you with a free consultation so that you can determine exactly what the projected cost of my office becoming involved would be. But in offering tips for sellers, the first most fundamentally important tip that I can offer to any seller of real estate is hire an attorney to represent you in the course of that sale. Legal representation will include everything from reviewing the listing agreement that you're asked to sign with the real estate agent that you're working with, to reviewing offers, purchase and sales agreements, dealing with home inspection issues, preparing your deed, attending the closing, reviewing closing documents for you and with you at the closing, interacting with the buyer's attorney or with the lender's attorney, dealing with title issues, any one of those things. Natalie, is everything okay? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I saw you dealing with the camera, so I became momentarily distracted.
It was just because 10% of battery left. So.
Oh, no problem. Please disregard that brief interruption of our video. So representing sellers includes all of these legal services. And I can also work with a seller on an a la carte basis. I can't think of a better expression to use, so I'll throw that one out, which means that we could just identify a few of the services that you feel you need. We could carve those services out of the process, price them accordingly and reasonably, and have me represent you just with respect to a few select tasks related to the sale of the real estate. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2, and again, I'm just going to try to keep this video as tight and concise and informational as possible. Tip number 2, closely related to tip number 1. If you decide that you cannot afford to retain an attorney, to hire an attorney to represent you in the sale of a piece of real estate, at least consider retaining an attorney, myself, hopefully, to represent you with respect to preparing your deed. So it's perhaps a little known fact but true, that one of the seller's most basic responsibilities in the course of selling real estate is that they must prepare and present a deed at closing. What that means is that they either have to hire an attorney to prepare it themselves, which is strongly discouraged, or use the buyer's attorney to prepare it. Is everything okay, Natalie?
It's been 5 minutes.
Oh, no problem. Then we're going to wrap this video up soon because, again, we've committed ourselves to making this video approximately 5 minutes in duration.
Yeah.
So, just to finish tip number 2 and then to conclude. One of the seller's basic responsibilities in the course of selling real estate is to prepare a deed. Your options as a seller are to prepare it yourself, which I would talk you out of that because we'll get into that in another video, but it's very problematical and it usually creates more problems than it solves. Number 2, hire an attorney to prepare it for you. Number 3, utilize in some cases the buyer's attorney to prepare your deed. Sometimes the buyer's attorney will agree as a service to prepare your deed. I also discourage that. I think that even if you as a seller have decided that it's not financially feasible for you to retain an attorney to represent you throughout the course of the sale, you should at least retain an attorney for the very limited purpose of preparing your deed. The preparation of deeds can range anywhere from $100 to $200, so it's not an extraordinary cost, and it's a cost that frankly you're going to have to pay anyway, probably to the buyer's attorney if you elect not to have your own attorney prepare it. In other video presentations, we'll talk about some of the other considerations that enter into this analysis as to why you should retain your own attorney. Again, tonight we're keeping it very brief and very tight. But again, my second tip for sellers would be to, tip number one, hire an attorney to represent you in the sale. Tip number 2, if you can't follow tip number 1 or accept tip number 1, then at least hire an attorney to prepare your deed. More about this in future installments. The moderator is Natalie Ann Foy, my daughter, who's simply wonderful.
Yes.
The speaker is me, Len Foy. I think I'm wonderful too.
You're just being vain right now.
Well, I should be more modest. We agree on that. But in all seriousness, Natalie Foy is the moderator. Len Foy is the speaker. The office is Foy Law Office PLLC. That's the who. The what is real estate law. That's what we do, and I think we do it better than anyone. So if you are in need of a qualified real estate attorney, please contact my office. I can be reached at 603, that's the area code, 598-4030. We're on the World Wide Web at www.foylawoffice.com. Please send me an email. I'm very good about responding to emails. My email address is lfoy, so lfoy at foylawoffice.com. My fax number is 603-598-4020. I hope to hear from you. I'd love the opportunity to represent you. Again, this is Len Foy saying good night to everybody. Thank you for watching this video.
And this is Natalie Foy, Len's moderator, saying ciao. Bye.
Bye.